everybody, welcome back to the podcast, and we are going to be talking about really, really weird things with Mason.
Hello, today's episode, or chunk, is probably going to be about cryptozoology, which is the study of Bigfoot, chupacabra, etc. So, we're just going to talk about really, really strange stuff, like Bigfoot sightings, stuff like that. So, let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so Bigfoot is probably the most iconic cryptid of all time, so that's probably who we're going to talk about first. So the first Bigfoot sighting, one of the most famous, though, was, I keep forgetting his name, but him and his friend were walking down the road. As they quoted when they were interviewed later, they said it was a strange ape-like hairy creature about a foot taller than a human. They also said they were aiming the gun at the strange creature, and one of them pushed the other one's gun down and let it walk down the road. Most people think of Bigfoot as a bloodthirsty carnivore which will attack if seen. Not true. My theory is Bigfoot will only attack with provocation because they didn't do anything and it just kept walking. And then one of them accidentally steps on a branch. It turns around, looks at them for a while. One of them aims the gun at it, but the other one pushes the gun down. And then the creature just keeps walking down the road after a bit. When first interviewed, most people did not believe those people because it could just have been a person in an ape suit, and that would be true. But in the footage, you can see the back of Bigfoot's neck, and if it was wearing a mask, then you would have seen skin when the little part that covers the back of the neck came up. You would have seen the neck. It is not seen in the footage, so that just adds more proof that Bigfoot is definitely real. But anyway, that's just my theory on Bigfoot. Another iconic Bigfoot thing is the Yeti. They're said to be the same thing. Because Bigfoot has been sighted all over the world, it could be true, but the Yeti is said to have white fur, whereas Bigfoot has brown fur, so we may never know. As far as I know, you can compare their casts, and the Yeti tends to be like a little bit bigger. So either Bigfoot could be a species, like the missing link between apes and people. That's what a lot of people say, and I sort of believe that.
Hello everybody, welcome back to the podcast, and today we're going to be talking about is cryptids with Mason.
Hey guys, so today what we're going to be doing is I'm going to be interviewing a few people about what their views are on like the Loch Ness Monster, Bigfoot sightings, etc. This is going to be more other people's views on things, not mine. So, without further ado, Ellie, what do you think about Bigfoot?
I think most of the Bigfoot footages are fake, but I'm pretty sure that a few of them could be real. I also assume that probably if someone had sighted Bigfoot, which I think is possible, they probably wouldn't have had enough time, or in the glimpse they saw, they probably wouldn't have gotten a film.
And what backs up your evidence about the stuff, like you saying you don't really believe most of it? What backs up your view on that?
Although that footage you talked about in the last episode could be real, they could have also just practiced and had a full body costume with like that thing that goes over the zipper.
That could be true, but Bigfoot could also exist.
I do believe that Bigfoot could exist. I also believe that probably no one has filmed it very much.
Well, as far as we know, we'll probably never know.
And now we're going to be interviewing Barnaby.
We're going to be interviewing my friend Barnaby about the Loch Ness Monster, which is doesn't get as much love as Bigfoot. And I feel like that's not very fair because, there's literally no one really knows if they're real or not. So, anyway, Barnaby, do you believe in the Loch Ness Monster?
Kind of, because that monster kind of sounds unbelievable, though it also sounds otherworldly.
Yeah, and why do you believe this?
Because it seems like something that would become real.
Yes, and also the most famous Loch Ness Monster picture was taken by a surgeon. It's called the surgeon's photo, and it's the most iconic Loch Ness Monster photo. Many scientists or cryptozoologists like to think of the Loch Ness Monster as one of those prehistoric sea dinosaurs that survived. Okay, so the Loch Ness Monster is actually very interesting to think about. There's a good few Pokemon that are based on it. Don't know if you've heard of it.
I've not heard of any Pokemon who are based after a monster like that.
Well, just one for example is the Pokemon Lapras. It looks like some sort of sea monster with a shell on its back, which some people think there are a few islands spread across Loch Ness, and some people think that the Loch Ness Monster, the islands might be its back.
I'm not sure about that, but if it is its back, then maybe I get to go to someday and figure that out for myself.
Yeah, that would be one big monster.
Hopefully, I have seen a Pokemon card about it, but I'm not interested in seeing one because they look ferocious. And not able for somebody like me to beat a world with my bare fists, maybe with a sword, but I don't know.